Living beyond limits. Ladies and gentlemen, greatness is not found in comfort. The graveyard is full of buried potential. Dreams never pursued, ideas never born, and destinies never fulfilled. But you were not designed for mediocrity. You were created to dominate, to rise above, to stretch beyond what the world calls possible. The only limits you have are the ones you accept. Fear is a prison, doubt is a chain, and excuses are the locks. Break them. Refuse to let failure define you. Your future is not behind you, it's ahead. So think bigger, believe harder, and live beyond every limit. 1, you are built for greatness, not mediocrity. 2, limits exist only in the mind. 3, fear paralyzes, but faith propels. 4, excuses kill potential. 5, your destiny is beyond your comfort zone. You are built for greatness, not mediocrity. This is not just a motivational phrase. It is a truth woven into the very fabric of your existence. From the moment you were born, you were designed with potential that surpasses human understanding. You were not placed on this earth to merely survive, to exist without purpose, or to conform to the limitations set by society, culture, or even your own fears. Everything about you, your mind, your spirit, your abilities, is crafted for something far beyond the ordinary. Yet too many people settle for mediocrity, living far below their true capacity, imprisoned by fear, doubt, and the opinions of others. Greatness is not reserved for a select few. It is within every human being. It is not determined by background, education, resources, or connections. True greatness is a mindset, a decision to refuse anything less than what you were created for. It is about embracing the full extent of your gifts and refusing to allow excuses, circumstances, or failures to dictate your destiny. Too often, people measure themselves by the standards of others, comparing their progress with those around them, never realizing that their true competition is not with others, but with the limitations they have accepted. Mediocrity is dangerous because it feels safe. It does not demand effort, sacrifice, or courage. It allows you to blend in, to move with the crowd, to avoid criticism, and to escape discomfort. But it also robs you of purpose, fulfillment, and the satisfaction of knowing you have lived to your highest potential. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck in mediocrity is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It is a mindset that refuses to settle. Those who embrace greatness understand that challenges are inevitable, but they see obstacles as opportunities to grow rather than excuses to quit. Many people live in the shadow of fear, allowing past failures and disappointments to dictate their future. They let the pain of yesterday cripple their ability to move forward. But failure is not a stop sign. It is a lesson. Every setback carries wisdom, every mistake builds resilience, and every struggle strengthens the character necessary for success. Those who are built for greatness do not fear failure. They use it as a stepping stone. They understand that rejection, loss, and hardship are not signals to give up, but tests to prove their endurance. Your potential is limitless, but it requires activation. It is not enough to recognize your greatness, you must cultivate it. This means developing your skills, expanding your knowledge, and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to grow. It means refusing to be comfortable with where you are and constantly pushing yourself beyond what is familiar. It requires discipline, consistency, and an unshakable belief that you are meant for more. The human mind is one of the most powerful forces on earth. It has the ability to create, innovate, and transform the impossible into reality. But too often, it is confined by self-imposed limits, held back by doubts and fears that have no real power except the power you give them. History is filled with examples of individuals who defied the odds, broke through barriers, and lived beyond expectations. These were not people who had special privileges or advantages. They were people who simply refused to accept anything less than what they were capable of. They chose to rise above criticism, opposition, and adversity. They understood that comfort is the enemy of progress, that success requires persistence, and that the only true failure is quitting. The choice between greatness and mediocrity is made every single day. It is in the way you think, the way you act, and the standards you set for yourself. It is in the way you respond to challenges, the way you handle disappointments, and the way you push past obstacles. No one can force you to live a life of excellence. It is a decision only you can make. The potential for greatness is already within you, but it will remain dormant unless you make the decision to activate it. Limits exist only in the mind. The boundaries that hold people back are not physical. They are mental constructs shaped by experiences, fears, and societal expectations. Many believe that their potential is capped by circumstances, background, or talent, but the truth is that the only real barriers are the ones they choose to accept. The human mind is powerful, capable of extraordinary feats, yet it can also be the greatest prison when filled with doubt and hesitation. From an early age, people are conditioned to believe in limitation. They are told what is possible and what is not, what they can achieve and what is beyond their reach. Over time, these beliefs take root, shaping decisions, actions, and ultimately destiny. Some never question these imposed limits. They accept them as truth and live within them. Others challenge them, pushing beyond what they were told was possible, and in doing so, they redefine reality. The difference between those who break barriers and those who remain trapped is not intelligence or resources, but the ability to see beyond mental restrictions. The greatest achievements in history were made by individuals who refused to be confined by perceived limits. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every monumental success began with someone who rejected the idea that there were boundaries to what could be done. They did not allow failure to define them, nor did they let the fear of the unknown prevent them from taking bold steps. They understood that growth happens outside of comfort and that the mind, when expanded by new possibilities, can never return to its original state. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that reinforce mental limits. The fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty can paralyze even the most talented individuals. It convinces them that they are not ready, not qualified, or not capable. But fear is an illusion, a projection of what might happen, not what will happen. Those who accomplish great things are not without fear. They simply refuse to let it dictate their actions. They recognize that fear is a signal, not to stop, but to move forward with wisdom and courage. Excuses also play a major role in reinforcing mental limits. People convince themselves that they lack the resources, the time, or the opportunity to achieve their dreams. They wait for the perfect conditions, not realizing that conditions are rarely ideal. Those who break through limits do not wait, they act. They use what they have, start where they are, and create the opportunities they need. They refuse to be victims of circumstance because they understand that their thoughts shape their reality. Breaking mental limits requires a shift in perspective. It demands a commitment to personal growth, a willingness to challenge old beliefs, and the discipline to push beyond comfort. It is about training the mind to see possibilities instead of obstacles, opportunities instead of setbacks. Those who achieve the extraordinary do not possess superhuman abilities. They simply refuse to be held back by thoughts that say they can't. Fear paralyzes, but faith propels. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to success, keeping people trapped in hesitation and uncertainty. It magnifies doubts, creates excuses, and convinces the mind that taking a step forward is too risky. Fear feeds on past failures, replaying moments of disappointment and reinforcing the belief that failure is inevitable. It limits vision, shrinks confidence, and makes even the strongest individuals second-guess their potential. It is not external circumstances that hold most people back. It is the internal battle between fear and the desire to move forward. Faith, on the other hand, is the force that drives action. It is the unwavering belief that something greater is possible, even when there is no visible evidence. Faith allows people to see beyond their current situation and move towards something bigger. It is not blind optimism, but a deep conviction that every step taken in the right direction will lead to progress. Those who achieve great things are not those without fear, but those who choose to act in faith despite it. They understand that fear will always be present, but it does not have to dictate decisions. Fear demands comfort and security, while faith requires boldness and risk. The difference between those who remain stuck and those who move forward is not the absence of fear, but the presence of faith strong enough to overcome it. When fear whispers doubts, faith responds with possibility. When fear says wait, faith says go. The moment a person shifts from fear-based thinking to faith-driven action, doors begin to open. Fear weakens the mind, but faith strengthens it. Fear drains energy, but faith ignites it. Fear paralyzes potential, but faith unlocks it. Excuses kill potential. Every person is born with unique gifts, talents, and the capacity for greatness, but many never reach their full potential because they allow excuses to take control. Excuses create barriers that do not exist, convincing the mind that success is out of reach. They disguise themselves as justifications, offering reasons why progress cannot be made, why the timing is not right, or why circumstances are too difficult. The truth is that excuses are simply a way to avoid responsibility, and the more they are used, the stronger they become. People who live by excuses never take ownership of their future. They blame their past, their upbringing, their environment, or the lack of opportunities, without realizing that they have the power to change their situation. Every great achiever in history had reasons to make excuses, but chose not to. They faced setbacks, obstacles, and challenges, yet refused to let circumstances dictate their destiny. Instead of focusing on limitations, they focused on solutions. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, they took action with what they had. Excuses rob people of time, energy, and progress. They create the illusion of effort while keeping a person stuck in the same place. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is the ability to reject excuses and take action. Growth requires accountability. Success demands discipline. Potential is unlocked through consistent effort, not by waiting for ideal conditions. Those who truly desire to achieve something will always find a way, while those who allow excuses to control them will always find reasons to stay where they are. The battle is not against external limitations, but against the inner voice that says it cannot be done. Your destiny is beyond your comfort zone. Comfort is familiar, predictable, and safe, but it is also the greatest enemy of growth. Staying within comfort limits, potential, keeping people trapped in routines that require little effort and no risk. Many dreams die in the space of comfort because they are never pursued with the urgency, boldness, and persistence required to bring them to life. True progress only happens when a person is willing to step beyond what is easy and into what is unknown. Every person who has ever achieved greatness had to leave their comfort zone. They had to take risks, face uncertainty, and embrace challenges that forced them to grow. The difference between those who fulfill their destiny and those who do not is not opportunity, talent, or intelligence. It is the willingness to do what is uncomfortable. Growth requires discomfort. Strength is built through resistance. Success is found in the willingness to do what most people avoid. Fear often keeps people in their comfort zones, making them believe that stepping out will lead to failure or embarrassment. But the real failure is never trying. The longer a person remains in comfort, the harder it becomes to break free. Every step outside of what is familiar expands capacity, increases confidence, and opens new possibilities. Comfort provides temporary security, but it never leads to purpose. The greatest breakthroughs, opportunities, and rewards are found in places that require courage. Comfort may feel good, but it does not change lives. Those who refuse to move beyond what they know will always remain in the same place, watching others rise while they remain stagnant. The decision to step out is the difference between an average life and a life of significance.